welcome to the Pioneer Mill Restaurant here in Tiffin, Ohio for your winter look at Tiffin University Athletics Winter Dragon Radio Live. I'm Russell Snyder, voice of the Dragons, and we're going to take a look at all the winter athletics here on the Tiffin University campus and get you a preview of what you can expect this coming winter. If you'd like more information on Tiffin University Athletics, go to gotiffindragons.com. If you'd like more information on Tiffin University, go to tiffin.edu. So tonight we're going to take a look at esports. We're going to take a look at Tiffin University men's basketball, wrestling, track and field, swimming and diving, as well as women's basketball too. Now we're going to also, I've told everybody in the crowd here, but we'll let our listeners and viewers know now as well. We're going to be taking some questions from the crowd as well. Now I don't have my glasses on too, so if somebody wants to be heard here tonight, make sure you find Coach Simcoe out there. Then after that, find Coach Chalin Kalick, and they'll help you get here on Tiffin University Dragon Radio Live. Let's get it started. Esports, one of the newest varsity program here on the campus of Tiffin University, and we have head coach Chalin Kalick with us. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Russ. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Why don't you go ahead and introduce who you have here on the panel with you?
So we have our other coach who coaches Overwatch and Counter-Strike, Brett Wybera, and then two of our student athletes, Kyle Doss and Cody Doss.
Well, welcome to the program, guys. Thanks for being here with us. And new program. How's it feel? Have you guys settled in yet? Has everything settled down? Are you guys able to just relax and do what you got to do?
Not a whole lot of relaxing, but we've certainly settled in. We've finally moved into the largest collegiate indoor gaming arena in the country at 4,000 square feet.
That's pretty awesome, right, everybody? Largest gaming center in the country is right here on Tiffin University campus.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
It's definitely a cool title to have. We've talked with a lot of people in the industry, and it's nice to be able to have that title, to talk with them and have people say, Tiffin, Ohio, small town, middle of the cornfields, but, we have a large title like that, which is definitely nice. We do have our 15 computers set up. We are in the process of getting a few more to meet our needs, because we've definitely grown exponentially from not just students that we've brought to the university, but students that are already a part of the university that want to be a part of the program in some way.
Well, your guys' program, as you said, has already grown tremendously. Talk a little bit about the esports in general. You were just talking to Shane O'Donnell, our sports information director, a minute ago, and teams like the New York Yankees are now investing in esports. Other former professional athletes, major corporations, many different major sports teams are investing in esports. Tell us what's going on with esports.
It's absolutely crazy right now. The industry has really taken off. There's been a lot of projections over the last few years about how much money the industry can make and where it can go, but it's definitely taken off. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors, both of their organizations have bought franchise spots in the League of Legends Championship Series. You have a lot of different private investments from NBA teams like the 76ers, the Bucks, the Heat. They all have stakes in different teams, as well as the Yankees, as you've talked about. And even just recently, they had the League of Legends World Championships, which sold out the Chinese Olympic Stadium. So,
wow, absolutely
you're talking massive venues, as well as the company that runs all of the events at the Madison Square Garden. They have a large stake in a gaming company as well.
Now, we've talked in the past about the different opportunities that are available to kids when they get involved in the esports programs. Not just the guys who are participating in the esports. There's many different opportunities that our students can explore with esports besides the actual being the gamer himself.
Absolutely, and that's what I think really can draw a lot of students to the program. I definitely think down the road, purely on the academic side, you're going to have to learn what esports is no matter where you go, regardless if it's just a general business degree, marketing degree. It's becoming too large to ignore it. And we have a lot of students that game as a hobby, but they're really just looking to give themselves an edge in the industry no matter where they go, whether it's just a general marketing degree or not. Even large corporations are looking for somebody that does have the knowledge of this that can go in and potentially make them money.
Now, this esports, everything that's happening with esports, Tiffin University is becoming a big player in esports, and we're getting some mentions both the national and international stages, aren't we?
Absolutely. The company that I mentioned before that the Madison Square Garden has, the event staff has really invested in, is called CounterLogic Gaming, and they're one of the oldest, if not the oldest, esports organization in the world. And their CEO, we had the pleasure of meeting him when we were out at a convention. He sat down and he talked with us about working on some partnerships and some sponsorships and such. And on a podcast he was recently on, they were bringing up the kind of minor leagues in the collegiate scene, and Tiffin University was the lone university that he mentioned as these guys are doing it right. This is the right way to approach it.
Awesome.
You're being able to not just look for the top 1% that could potentially go pro. You're looking at kids that want to go into the industry and work, kids that that are dedicated, that will get good grades and graduate.
Well, speaking of kids, got a couple of student athletes down there, been a part of the Tiffin University Athletic family for a long time, competing in the esports program. Let's talk a little bit about Cody and Kyle Doss. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the program, and talk a little bit about the work these kids have been putting in for your esports program.
Well, when I really started working with the program back in October 2016, I started taking over the reins and helping out more and more. And one of the things that I did was students that were already on campus that were interested in joining the program, I started running some practices for them. And these two students here were two of the ones that really stepped up. They did a little recruiting for me around campus to kind of generate some interest. And in our practices, they really took the reins to kind of help out and really push a lot of the points that I've talked about. The way that I try and relate it to other people is you can have people that participate in a local YMCA and play pickup leagues, but just because you're good there, that doesn't mean it's going to translate to a set team in a collegiate sport. And that's what a lot of the issues we had was people would play on their own and think they're pretty good, but then when you have a 5-man team that you have to work together, it can get pretty hectic. And these guys really kind of stepped up, and they were leaders for us, both in and out of games, being able to make sure people are on time and ensuring people are where they need to be, and learning and researching the things they need to do.
Cody, Kyle, welcome to the program. As we said, let's whichever one of you guys want to go first, let's talk about the esports program. What was it about esports that made you guys want to get involved with it here on Tiffin University campus?
No, it was a good idea. I know I've played the video game in the past just for fun. Very involved on campus. I'm the head resident of Tiffin University, actually, so I'm in charge of 600 students. And then actually a freshman friend of mine, his name's Jordan Wright, he's the one who came to me and told me about it, and I thought it was a great opportunity, so I went and checked it out.
Your turn. What is it about esports that got you excited?
Just the idea that I can play video games as a college sport was the coolest sounding thing that I've ever heard. I played sports for Tiffin, and honestly, they told me I could play video games for college, so I couldn't turn that down.
What are you studying here at Tiffin University?
Government.
And you?
Business management.
What's the plans after school's over? Is esports something you want to continue with? That's the one great thing about esports is that's something you can take with you the rest of your life, but is this something you want to work in professionally, or what are you guys looking to do when you graduate?
Looking to graduate. I'm getting a master's degree. I don't know where. I'm actually attending a conference with Student Affairs coming in February in Wisconsin to look at other places. But esports not in my future, I don't believe. No, but you never know. It could open up doors.
And you?
I plan on going to law school. I want to, focus on business law. So esports is an opportunity I could look into, but it's kind of like a side idea right now.
You probably tell these kids, don't close that door.
We're trying to convince them to get their masters here and compete for us for 2 more years. But we've definitely approached a lot of the students and taught them that realistically, almost any degree can be applicable within esports. A lot of the conferences we have looked at, you do have a lot of law firms that are looking at esports because you have lawsuits and there's no real previous court cases to say here's how it was ruled because it's never been a thing.
All right, let's talk to your assistant coach. His name's Brett Wybera. Brett, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Let's talk a little bit about the esports program and how you got involved with it.
Well, I was brought on earlier this year after Challen was made aware that we could add another coach. I'd been playing Counter-Strike and Overwatch, both of them basically since their inceptions. I graduated from Tiffin University as well in 2014, so my background was in teaching. I taught in Findlay, and this was just kind of the natural progression for me, so coaching was pretty easy for me to step into.
How has the team taken to the coaching so far this year? Is the team progressing the way you would hope they would, or have they exceeded your expectations? Where do they stand?
They've been doing good. They've really impressed me. I think they like me a lot. They bought me a chef hat, and they refer to me as Gordon Ramsay. So they said that sometimes I yell at them a little bit too much, but I'm not. We go just as hard as any other sport. We try our best, and they always give me the effort that I expect out of them. So I've been very happy with both teams.
Now, is Overwatch and Counter-Strike Global Offensive the two main games that are played as the championship level at the esports at the collegiate level?
Yes, aside from League of Legends, which Challen coaches, these are basically the 3 main games that you'll see across the country and across the world.
Challen, one more time here before we let you guys go. If somebody was to come down and see you guys working at the esports complex there, what do they expect to see when they come in and see your kids in there?
Well, we open up every day. Brett and I are there 10 a.m., 7:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and then Brett has matches a lot of times on Saturdays. But if you guys if anybody wants to see a practice, we run practices 2:15 to 4:45, and then 5 to 7:30 because we have multiple teams across multiple games. So anybody's welcome to come down, check out a practice. We definitely welcome it. But then from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., people are allowed to come down, use the consoles. We have a couple PlayStation, Xboxes that students are more than welcome to come down and check out. And if people are interested in creating teams on campus, club-wise, whatever, we'll do our best to help facilitate that and make it easier on you.
How does the match work? You guys perform from your facility, other schools perform from their facility, and you just meet together online?
Absolutely. A lot of it depends upon the league that you join, but more often than not, you'll have some kind of best of three that you'll play. Depending on the game, there'll be some other rules kind of thrown in, but for the most part, it is a best of three, and then whoever takes that will kind of get the victory.
Well, continued success, man. You guys get the ball rolling here not that long ago. You have your new facility. You have a bunch of kids coming in. You're recruiting for next year, you've told me about already. So congratulations and continued success, man. It's pretty exciting stuff. The newest, was the newest till some new announcements came out that we'll talk to Coach Joey Simcoe about in a little bit. But, continued success. It's really cool stuff. And you got a lot of kids really excited to work with you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. There's been a lot of support from people. And I think what's really great is talking with people within the school. We've come to find out more and more that everybody has kind of a hidden geek inside of them. Everybody kind of tells us, oh yeah, I used to play this game when I was younger, or this or that. So it's definitely been an easy transition, and we appreciate all the support.
Well, Chalon, Brett, Cody, and Kyle, thank you guys so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and have fun out there. I mean, it's really cool stuff. So congratulations on your success, and continue having fun. So that's our esports program. You're welcome, everybody. We're going to welcome up men's basketball now. Coach Jerry Busilla is going to come up and join us. Esports, the newest competing varsity program on the Tiffin University campus. Speaking of competing varsity programs, you can catch on WTUD this Friday night, Tiffin University men's basketball against Ohio Dominican University at 7 o'clock. Our coverage will begin at 6:30, so make sure you tune in and find out more about Tiffin University men's basketball. And speaking of Tiffin University men's basketball, head coach Jerry Busilla sitting to my right. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Ross, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be doing a winter broadcast without basketball, so basketball season starts this Friday night for you guys. How excited is everybody?
I think we're very excited. The guys been working extremely hard and looking forward to getting the season rolling.
Well, you finish off a season, take a look at the kids you got coming back, and you kind of give them a game plan. I'm assuming these are the things we need you guys to work on before you come back next fall, and those kids complete the challenges that you put in front of them to make sure that they got better coming into the 2017-18 season.
I believe so. I think these guys have worked extremely hard over the summer. All of our top 13, 11 of the top 13 came back this summer for 7 weeks, and we were really pleased with the effort they put forth this summer. From what we heard, they worked extremely hard. And this fall has been really good as well. So I think we've been getting better each and every day, and it's very important that we do that. We have to get better every day. We're young, but these guys have, I think, accepted the challenge and understand hard work is going to be the way to get us better.
You have a change to your coaching staff this year. You have a new coach over there. Who'd you bring in this year?
Main assistant is Guy Hensley. He came up from Naples, Florida, really enjoying the weather up here.
I'm sure.
We're going to get him a couple more hats and things to cover his head to keep him warm because he complains about that a lot. But Guy's been a welcome addition. And beside him is Dan Finelli, is my graduate assistant. And Dan comes to us from after having a 4-year stellar career at the College of Worcester. Mm-hmm. And both these guys are working really hard.
All right, you got 3 student athletes sitting to your right. Why don't you go and introduce those young men?
Yeah, immediately to my right is senior captain Alex Brown's been this will be his 4th year in the program, be his 4th year as a starter in this program. Beside him is junior captain Austin Adams, and Austin joined us last year, had a real nice sophomore season, and looking for leadership, a lot of leadership out of Alex and Austin, as well as senior Trent Lucas, who is at the end of the table. Trent will be, this is his 3rd year in the program, and Alex and Trent are our seniors, and these are the 3 guys with really the most experience. We have 10 other guys that are going to be a little new on the court, and but we're excited about showcasing those guys as well.
Well, Alex, Austin, Trent, thank you guys so much for joining us in the program. Go ahead and pick up that microphone. And Alex, I don't know if many people have played as many minutes Tiffin University basketball as what you have. You've been on the floor quite a bit since the first time you stepped on campus. How excited are you to come into your senior season? Probably feel like finally come into your senior season.
Yeah, I mean, it came by fast, but I'm ready to go for my senior year and just hoping for a lot of team success. You know, we're working hard every day. As Coach B said, we're young, but we're just getting better and hoping for a good year.
Have you embraced that leadership role that you've had to take on this year? I mean, you kind of had that role as a junior last year, but as a senior, it's squarely on your shoulders this year, that leadership role. Have you embraced that?
Yes, definitely, and I got a great group of guys around me that really expect a lot out of me, so each and every day we just push each other to be the best and just help lead.
Austin, welcome to the program. Coming in, second team all-conference player last year, your second team on the preseason this year. What are your expectations of yourself after having that real nice first year with the Dragons?
Yeah, my expectations are just to come in and win. You know, like he said, we're a young team, but we have high expectations for all of us. You know, I know we can be at the top of the league, and we weren't voted there, but we're gonna shock some people this year, hopefully. And
well, preseason rankings mean nothing.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Now, you've kind of taken on a leadership role, I'm sure, as a junior this year. Like you guys have said, you got 10 guys coming into this team this year that do not have a lot of experience on the floor. Are you looking forward to taking on that leadership role as well?
Yeah, you know, we got a couple of people that are, you know, we got a lot of freshmen that came in and some transfers, and I'm looking to, you know, take them under my wing and teach them some things, and hopefully they can learn from me and they can better the program for the next couple of years. You know, I got one more year, but I'm looking for them to take after me and help to put the program on a top pedestal for Tiffin here.
All right, Trent, we'll just pass that down to you. Trent, you've been around the program for quite a while as well. You're one of the upperclassmen on this team. I'll ask you the same thing. You have to be a leader, you know, by example, both on and off the floor. Being a senior, you taking, you know, you accepting that role as well?
Yes, I accept the challenge. I love being around these guys. I love leading them. They're state-of-the-art guys. They love to come to work, and I love pushing them. So I just like keeping my role and make sure everybody's doing what they need to be done.
Well, as I said, you've been around the program for quite a while this year. And is this, in your time here at Tiffin University, is this the youngest team that you've seen the Dragons field?
Yes, for sure. Last year we had quite a lot of people that had a lot of experience, and as they've said, we were pretty lacking in that. So it's up to us three and the rest of the guys to lead each other. There's more leaders than just us three. Everybody can lead, and everybody can do what they have to do to keep this team and make them successful.
Well, Coach, they said there's more leaders out than just these three that you have on that program. You're going to have to lean on some younger guys this year, maybe more so than what you've had in the past. But as you recruit them to Tiffin University, you recruit them to play basketball for you. So how long does it usually take these young kids to settle down like a young freshman is going to get a lot of playing time? You know, I'm sure you come in wide-eyed like you do in any other sport, but how do you feel in basketball? How long does it usually take for these kids maybe to settle down and freshmen become sophomores?
Well, we hope it doesn't take them too long. But, you know, the reality is there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be mistakes made on the floor. However, I think how they handle those mistakes and how they learn from those mistakes and improve from those mistakes is the most important thing. And I think with these leaders, picking guys up when there's mistakes made and having them focus to the next play is going to be extremely important. We're excited about the young group of guys, and because there's a lot of talent in that group as well, which you're going to get a chance to see. So hopefully the learning curve isn't very long, but it's one that you're going to make mistakes. You got to understand that, get better from the mistakes. So you don't keep making the same one.
Now, Alex, your numbers. You're close to 1,000 career points, close to 500. Career rebounds and 200 career assists. So do you have any personal goals set for yourself to reach those numbers, or do you feel you go out and compete and start winning some basketball games, those numbers will take care of themselves?
Yeah, definitely. The more team wins you get, obviously the individual accolades come with it, so it's more focused on the team and just getting wins.
All right, Austin, Trent, before we let you guys go, you get first games this Friday now. How excited are we to have Ohio Dominican in town for a 7 o'clock tip from the Gilmore Student Center?
We've been working all season for this. We've been here since July, so we're just ready to get down to it and get the season started.
Trent, same thing.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what our team brings, and I'm ready to play someone that besides ourselves.
Yeah, different colored uniform. Ready to see that, huh? Well, Coach Busil, thank you for bringing these student athletes up here. Continued success. But like we said, our first game will be Friday night, November 10th. We'll be there. Free live video at tudragonradio.com as well as radio at tudragonradio.com as well. But thanks for coming up, guys. Continued success. Have a great year, and most of all, have a lot of fun.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate
all right,
it.
Tiffin University men's basketball here on WTUD, part of our winter sports broadcast preview. We're up next. Tiffin University wrestling. Coach Joey Simcoe is going to come on up. We said our first broadcast will be Friday nights. Then on November 15th, we have women's basketball, November 18th, women's basketball, and November 22nd, women's basketball. So a lot of women's basketball coming up here before we get to that Thanksgiving holiday break. But now we're going to bring on Tiffin University Wrestling, and Coach Joey Simcoe join us. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Good, Russ. How are you?
I'm not doing too awful bad. Season's right around the corner for you guys as well. I mean, you got a few things under your belt, but talk a little bit about, you've quite a few changes, I think, this year for you. You have some guys who are some really highly decorated wrestlers who aren't wrestling for you anymore, but you have some guys coming back who are looked at pretty highly nationally. But, you had a lot to replace this year. What's the squad like compared to the last couple of years?
Interesting. We went into Michigan State Open this last weekend. We lost Garrett, Sammy, Mikey, Chambers, who's sitting up there. He's scared to talk. There's his hand. So we lost a lot of guys that were tried. They were out there. They were battle tested, and we brought a lot of young guys to Michigan State, and we wrestled really well. Trey Grind took third, beat the number 11 and 14 kids in Division I, handily beat them. Lost in the semis to a really tough kid. He was a junior world silver medalist. Lost that match, came back and beat one of the number 2 recruit in the country to get in for third. So he's on fire. We had five guys in the freshman sophomore division that placed. So I mean, we were pleasantly surprised with the team.
Well, the team's receiving votes, I believe, right outside the top 25, and then is it the NWCA? Mm-hmm. And then, Giuseppe's ranked 12th nationally, Trey's ranked 7th nationally. So those two young men getting a lot of love nationally. But you give me kind of a weird look there when I said about you receiving votes, because you think you should be inside that top 25, I'm assuming.
Well, this is the first time. So for the last 3 years, we finished in the top 10. And we're a young program. This is year 7 for me being here. Year 8 as a varsity sport. So we've come a long way in a short time. And these guys, that's something I pointed out right away when the rankings came out. We don't live by the rankings. Obviously, you gotta wrestle the match. But I pointed out we're not in the top 25, and this is take it personal. So when they came out, we came out and wrestled, and they want to be ranked. They want to have the same target on their back, same bullseye on their back that the team before had. And so, the guys are taking that personal. So it's actually something that's motivated them and helped them practice.
Why don't you go and introduce who you have sitting to your right?
This is Caleb Fry. He's a 5th-year senior for us. Past him, that's old Chase Boyd. He's also a 5th-year senior for us. And then at the end, that's an old familiar face, big old Garrett Gray down there.
Well, welcome to the program, guys. We'll start with you, Caleb. Go ahead and grab the microphone there and tell us what weight you wrestle.
I'm a heavyweight here at Tiffin.
And what year are you?
This is my 5th year. I'm a senior.
So you're happy? You probably still got to wrestle this guy in practice, I'm assuming. You're probably happy he's not across from you as often as he was before, the big guy at the end there.
I've been very fortunate to be able to wrestle him for the last 5 years. He's my drill partner for the last 3, really. I've been very lucky between him and Kevin coming in here to have great drill partners.
All right, and Chase, welcome to the program. Go ahead and grab the microphone. How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. What weight you wrestle?
I wrestled 84 this week. I'll probably be wrestling 174 the rest of the season.
How difficult is that to change weight like that? Why? I mean, I don't understand. Like, you wrestle at 184. Is that because your team needed somebody at that spot, and then 174 is where you normally wrestle?
Yeah. So 174 would be what I would refer to as my weight class, but since it's the beginning of the season, I'm not in the shape I need to be at 174. I didn't feel like I could compete at the level I wanted to at 174, so I went 184 instead to kind of slowly work my weight down to when I'm ready to go 174. All
right. And Coach Gray, how weird is it to be in the coaching side of things and not the actual wrestler this year?
It's quite a bit different. This first tournament was strange for me. Not warming up. You're not getting ready to compete. You don't get the same nerves. It's just a completely different feeling. it's different in the way that you can only do so much from the corner. You couldn't do that. I mean, it's different because when you're on the mat, you control yourself in that. But, I mean, you can't control those guys from the corner. You just give them the best advice you can and hope they do as well as they can.
Well, I'm sure you work very closely with Caleb Fry. Why don't you talk a little bit about him as a wrestler?
Yeah, me and Caleb are, like you said, been drill partners for years. He come in the year after I did. It's been always real close. The biggest thing is, even though he's been behind me, he's always been right on my heels. So that pushed me in the years that I was here, and I couldn't ask for a better drill partner. I mean, he's someone. I mean, even when I could win, the next thing you know, I'm already taken down, or I'm scrambling for a position that I'm never usually in. But it was always great. Definitely gonna miss him after this year. Hard to replace a guy like that.
Why don't you talk a little bit about Chase and about his skills on the mat?
He's got a wicked front headlock. No, Chase is very tough. He came in here, wrestled 157 his freshman year, was a match away, actually all 3 years as a starter. He's been a match away from the national tournament. 1 year took a head-to-head shot and ended up, concussed and couldn't go on. So it's been a roller coaster for him, but the dude is always there. He's one of the guys we can always count on to go out and grind out matches for us, and he's been a huge point scorer for us. And something I want to hit on too. He was talking about wrestling 184. I mean, this is something that people don't think about with our sport. Is Chase came in at like 205. So he lifted all summer and worked out all summer, and I mean he's coming down to a weight class. I mean, and that's typical across the board. These guys are, having to control their weight. There's so much maintenance to that, and in years past, we've rushed it. We've pushed guys down quickly, and, we're kind of letting them work their way down this year, and we're hoping that, that especially for the older guys, that it makes a big difference.
Well, you got to be disciplined no matter what sport you're participating in. But wrestling, I would say that's magnified 10 times by the discipline that it takes just to be able because you have a weight that you have to compete at.
Yep, I think so.
All right, last question here for you, Coach. You got a women's wrestling program coming up. Why don't you tell us about everything that's happening with that and how exciting is it?
It's very exciting, very crazy. This is something that, we talked about, and the timing's perfect. Women's wrestling is growing at a very, very fast rate, and I was fortunate enough to get asked to coach the U.S. Ohio Fargo team, and on the flip side is the women's team. So I got to be around those girls this summer, and it's exploding. We're the first school in Ohio. That was something that I was very adamant that I wanted to be a part of because Ohio's got such a rich wrestling history. I knew that when we announced it, things would start happening, and we've had 6 visits. We've had 6 girls commit. We're on the right path. It's awesome. We got some cool things happening down at the room too, and it's a great time.
Well, we're going to have your men's team on in February. I have a couple of your matches that we'll be broadcasting live at TU Dragon Radio. But women's wrestling is just pretty awesome. Like you said, it's an opportunity that's not been there for a long time, and you have a chance to hit the ground floor running with that program here at Tiffin University. Really, really cool stuff. But Chase, Caleb, and thank you guys so much for joining us here in the program. Continued success, man. The wrestling program's been doing some awesome stuff here on campus, and it's pretty cool to be a part of that. And like I said, thank you so much for joining us, and continued success. Thanks, guys. Tiffin University Wrestling, everyone. Thank you. All right, up next, we're going to invite up track and field, Coach Croy and student athletes. We'll be carrying some Tiffin University track and field as well. The Tiffin Dragon Track and Field Open will be January 20th on WTUD, TUDragonradio.com as well. We'll branch out a little bit this year. His name's Coach Jeremy Croy, and he's a national champion. Coach, how you doing tonight, sir?
Wonderful. How are you?
Great. It never gets old to hear, does it?
It's 8 years running.
8 years running national champion?
With you.
With you, yes, okay. But yeah, national champion, 2-time defending indoor track and field champion. We've been doing this 8 years. I think you're right. As soon as you said that, I started doing the math in my head. My gosh, we've been doing this for quite a while. But welcome to the program, Coach Croy, and it's that time of year. The indoor track and field program has been incredibly successful. The outdoor track and field program is just, this much behind. But got to fill you with a lot of pride knowing that you're bringing in these incredible student athletes, not only just athletes, but great students, and competing at such a high level. It's just got to make you feel great.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, winning back-to-back titles was phenomenal last year, and then we actually won the National Academic Team of the Year as well. So
Wow.
that was a pretty phenomenal accomplishment.
Absolutely. That's got to make some of the others at the university pretty darn happy as well.
You'd hope so, yeah.
You'd hope so, absolutely. Well, you have a couple student athletes with you to your right. Why don't you go and introduce who's with us?
This is Monica Carson. She's a senior from Twinsburg, Ohio, and Dominic Draghi from Washington, D.C., a senior as well.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you, Monica and Dominic. We'll start with you, Monica. You're from Twinsburg, Ohio. What do you compete with in the Tiffin University Track and Field program?
I am a shot put and javelin thrower.
All right. And how about you, Dominic?
I'm a shot putter.
Did this microphone just go out? You're a shot putter as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go back here to you, Monica. You've been a part of this program for quite a while now. Here's your senior year. You're from Twinsburg, Ohio. And just talk about being a part of such a program that's got such success and, setting the bar really high for the Tiffin University athletic programs.
Oh, it's amazing being here. It's a huge, it's very different from obviously high school. I did not have the coaching staff and the facility to work with, so I'm extremely grateful for everything this program has offered me.
And what are you studying here?
Chemistry.
All right. Dominic, same question for you. You're here at Tiffin University, your senior year. This program's been just fantastic. How I talked to Coach about the pride that he feels for being a part of the program. How about you? How much pride do you feel from being a part of a program that's just so successful?
I mean, the program's phenomenal. Some of my best years of my life have been here. We all work really hard. I mean, the coaches are super dedicated. I mean, all the athletes, we're all super dedicated, and we push each other. And it shows when we have 2 national titles and a GLIAC title and are still, well in competing for another national title this year.
And you have some coaching changes this year. You brought in some new coaches. How's the transition been?
Yeah, it's been very smooth. Our primary new coach is Dennis Martin. He's going to coach our sprints and hurdlers and relays. He came from the same background as Coach Horn, who left.
Okay.
He was a teammate of Coach Horn's at the University of Florida, and so he's a Florida Gator, and they use the same system, and it's been a very, very smooth transition.
Well, your kids compete both indoor and outdoor. Do you guys both compete on both the indoor and outdoor squads as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. And which do you prefer?
For me, indoors, it's a controlled environment. I don't have to worry about rain or cold weather, anything like that. So it's not fun to throw in.
Monica, the same with you?
The same thing. I like a regulated temperature. So it's nice having such a grand indoor facility.
Well, that's the whole reason I broadcast. I get to still enjoy sports and climate-controlled environments. So that's the whole reason I do that. But all right, take me through a practice day for you, Monica. You're working the throws. So take me through what your normal preparation is to improve yourself.
It's for all the throwers, it's extremely important to eat because right before, so we'll have a meal, and then we'll go straight to practice. Our practices are very tedious. You have to focus. You have to especially pay attention because if you get hit, that's tough.
Right.
And then we go straight to lifting. We push a lot of weights. The energy is really high, so you have to make sure that you are supplied with nutrients and whatnot.
Dominic, anything you can add to that?
It's a tough, long practice we have every day. High energy, a lot of focus, and it's funny because our coach Ray Robinson, our throws coach, also just bought us protein and he's giving it to us now for practices twice a week. So.
And Ray was the assistant coach of the year last year in the nation, right?
I think so, yeah. Congratulations,
yeah. Congratulations to that. That's
Coach.
Nothing short of fantastic. Well, how much does that help you in recruiting, bringing in these student athletes when you can show up with these big rings on your fingers and you can also show up with somebody else who's a national assistant coach of the year? It's got to make things a little easier for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is our 6th year in the Heminger Center. It's really starting to pay off. We have early signing period. I think that's tomorrow, and we've have 14 kids committed during the early signing. Our previous record was 3, so
wow.
It's really starting to take hold.
Where's your strengths this year? Is it your sprints, your throws, your distance, or is it nice and strong across the board?
It's across the board, and that's where our strength is. Most teams in the top 10 in the country tend to have one or two event group emphasis, and I think our strength is a pretty even keel across the board.
What about a guy like James Ngandu? I mean, as highly decorated as he is, I mean, having somebody who's just a absolute beast at his skill. I mean, how great is having somebody like that on your roster?
Yeah, I mean, we were very lucky to get him back for grad school this year. You know, somebody like that you can't replace.
Right.
It'd be very, very difficult to replace somebody like that. So not just his talent level, but his work ethic. I mean, distance-wise, he's the hardest worker we've ever had in our program. I mean, he's running 120 miles a week, every week. It's
I probably haven't done 120 miles in the last decade.
You can't just go find somebody like that. So
No. Monica, when you look back at your Tiffin University time, you know, after your senior year's done, what's some of the fond memories you look back on?
I definitely say the energy of our indoor meets. I've never experienced anything like that because I've never competed indoor before. So it's really nice, and also having a huge team that's filled with nothing but love and support, and everybody wants the best for one another. So it's great just having everybody on your side.
That is huge. I mean, how important is that because the roster is pretty good size here.
Yes.
Don't let everybody's on the same page. I mean,
Yes.
it just makes things so much easier for you to prepare.
Yeah. So when you go to an indoor meet, you'll never have one event. You'll always hear Tiffin athletes screaming for one another, supporting. Like, you'll never see one Tiffin athlete in a quiet event group.
I think Dominic will back that up. He was nodding very enthusiastically when you were saying that.
We're probably that team, at least the throwers. We're very loud for one another, and I think everyone around the throws area knows who we are. We're very big and loud, and it's awesome.
Well, I'll back what Monica said about the energy and things inside the Heminger Center during an indoor event. We had the pleasure of broadcasting the GLIAC Championships a couple years ago at home at the Heminger Center, and there was as much energy in that facility that day than anything I've broadcast. It was nothing short of amazing. It was so much fun to be a part of that. Like you said, there's that energy and excitement level that's going on inside there. It's hard to top. So. Pretty cool stuff. All right, Coach, anything else, Coach Croy, before we student athletes, before we move on to our next sport?
No, I think we open up December 2nd for our Alumni Open, and probably have about 15, 16 teams coming to that meet, so it'll be a great opening meet for us.
And we'll be at the Tiffin Dragon Open on Saturday, the 20th of January, to broadcast that one as well. So, all right, thank you guys so much. Tiffin University Track and Field here on our program. I'd like to welcome up next swimming and diving. As women's basketball on deck, are they here? They weren't here earlier. If not, Matt Kilber will fill in. And a couple more sports here left on our program on TUDragonRadio.com. Our winter sports preview, and we're going to talk swimming and diving now. We're going to get started here too. All right, let's go over to head coach Noah Moran first. Coach, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, Russ. How are you?
I'm doing well. I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a while. Things going well?
No real complaints.
No real complaints?
Yeah, things are moving. Things are
Any
going.
fake ones? Nothing? Nothing? Well, let's talk about the swimming and diving program. First of all, I'll introduce you the newest member to your staff here.
So this is Megan Seifert. She's our GA/assistant coach for diving. I let her handle everybody that's doing flips and twists and whatever they want to do. That's clearly not my area of expertise, so pretty happy to have Megan on board.
Well, Megan, let's introduce you to the folks here. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Had a chance to meet you myself here before we got started, but let's talk a little bit about your background and what brought you to Tiffin University. I'm assuming you were a diver back in your day as well.
I was. So I just graduated from Youngstown State, was a diver there, and then I came here for my graduate program at as a business.
I think it's okay. I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sports management. So.
And you excited to be a part of the coaching staff?
Yes, I'm very excited. We have a really good team, so I'm really excited to see what they can do this year.
Well, Coach, let's talk about the team. Let's start with the women's side. Let's start with the team you have on the women's side of the swimming and diving program.
Sure. We actually got smaller last year. I felt like we needed to do that to really be a better team, better program. Pretty excited about where we're at with everything, though. Early in the season, but this past weekend really, I think, was even in the last 2 years, I think probably one of our better dual meets, particularly back to back. Just finally swimming some smart races, doing things the way we practiced. It was just a better meet overall.
All right, how about on the men's side?
Same thing. I mean, we've got some horses on the men's side. I think we're going to surprise quite a few people, actually, particularly at the end of the year. Maybe not so much in the dual meets and stuff. That's kind of the method to my madness, I guess. Train through that stuff, and a lot of other programs do that. But I think to some extent, this past weekend kind of showed when they get just a little bit of rest, they are going to go faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Megan, let's talk about the divers. Now, you, I don't know what kind of expectations you had when you got to Tiffin, but you had a chance to meet these student athletes, and have they exceeded your expectations about where you thought they were, and talk about where they were when you got here and where they are now?
Well, when I got here, there was Morgan, who is a senior now, and Jordan, who's a sophomore. And Jordan has exceeded my expectations completely, and Morgan is getting up to there. So she is very much progressing. So that's always a good thing, and I'm excited to see where she goes from there. And then Jordan he's made leaps and bounds of improvements every single meet we've had. So
Well, that's all you can ask, that you want is improvement each and every time you go out, I'm sure. Well, coming up, you guys got a couple away meets. You're going to Ball State, going to Toledo, and we will have you guys on our airwaves on January 6th when you welcome Edinburgh into town. So if some of the folks here have not been to a collegiate swimming and diving event, Coach Moran, tell them what they can expect.
A warm
It's
facility.
loud, warm and loud.
Yeah,
We'll start there.
I mean, look, we had some great support this past weekend. I was thrilled to see so many of the administrators and other coaches there. I can't thank them enough for that. I'm probably more oblivious than I care to actually state, but when I see people like that, that really does warms my heart. How's that? So no, it's we have some fast people, we have some people who can race, and even this past weekend, we ended the meet on a very good note with a very competitive race. You'll see some fast movement.
Like I talked to Coach Croy, I asked him, what's your strength? Is it your sprints, your distance, your diving? What would you say your strengths are?
Sure, it's our diving, of course. Megan's our
Yes.
coach, right?
And that, you'll say that's all due to coaching?
Absolutely, no problem.
Is that, would you agree though? Would you say that your strengths in your divers right now, Megan?
Right now, yes, on both sides. I think we're definitely progressing, so that's always a good thing. Again, like I said, Jordan is making, from the last meet to this previous meet, he's jumped 40 points, so it's a great thing. And then Morgan actually has, a list, so she's also competing on the boards.
So how does it work, Coach Moran? Is it you're trying to get times? Is you're trying to get yourself to compete at the national level? How does it work for the student athletes as they work their way towards that?
Yeah, so what we're really focused on is our conference meet and then NCAA. So those are, for me, the most important meets. We'll get better with the dual meets as the program continues to grow and we get everybody on the same page. So we are swimming tired. We're not resting. We're not putting on suits to beat other people. We want to be able to be ahead of them at the end of the year. So right now it is just kind of a training and a little bit of a slog. People get sick and tired and all that, but generally that's our focus is GLIACs and NCAAs.
And now your training isn't strictly to the pool, right? You do also do training outside of the pool.
Yeah. It's a different type of program that I think a lot of swimming programs do. I think it's a compilation of a bunch of programs that I've been around and what I've liked what I like to do. So they're we're in the water generally at least 2 hours for practice every day, and then dry land for half hour, 45 minutes a day.
Is that something you were accustomed to, Megan, before you came to Tiffin University, or is Coach Moran's style that off the wall that you had to adjust to it?
No, it's a little bit of both. So I came from Youngstown, and it was a little bit of what he did and a little bit of what the trainers did at Youngstown. So I also, so I had to adapt a little bit to Moran's style, but it all worked out.
All right, well, when you look at where your kids are right now, and in order for them to get to where they need to be at the end of the season, as you said, in the conference and the NCAA meets, what are some things that you see where your kids need that improvement and you know that they can make that improvement to get there?
I think a lot of it's on the mental side. I mean, particularly for the divers, I think that's a big part of it right now. On the both the women's and the men's side, just not having that real mental focus and understanding that we can still swim fast even though we may not feel great. I think that's a big part of it. So at least in my eyes, it's the mental side of things, and that's where, hey, this is what normal practice is. We'll get through this. When you get in that race, you're going to feel this. You're going to go faster than everybody else. They're going to fall off because their body's just going to want to shut down. Yours is going to be willing and able to handle it.
Megan, do you back that up?
Yes, I agree. But with us, it's a lot of like the mental side of it within the meet. They have to know how to shake a dive off if they have a bad dive. The same with goes for if they have a bad race. So a lot of it in diving, I think I always like to say it's 80% mental and 20% skill, or vice versa. So.
Well, just like any other sport, it's the next thing that's in front of you, not the one that's behind you, that's the most important. But anything else, guys, about your kids before we let you get off the hot seat?
No, thanks, Russ. Really appreciate you doing this and helping us out.
No problem. Noah and Megan, coaches here of our Tiffin University swimming and diving program. We'll go ahead and let them step aside, and we will bring up our women's basketball program, our final guest of the night. Go ahead and come on up, guys. Don't forget, if you'd like more information on any of these sports at Tiffin University, go to gotiffindragons.com. You can go to tiffin.edu to get any information you need on Tiffin University as well. But now we're going to talk Tiffin University women's basketball. Sitting to my right is Coach Jason Mishler. Coach, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm well.
Thanks for being here on the program. You got a student athlete with you sitting there to your right. Why don't you go and introduce her?
This is our senior, Kylie May.
You can pick that up, Kylie. You can bring that up there. How you doing tonight, Kylie?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Like I said to Alex, you've logged a lot of minutes on the floor at Tiffin University basketball. How excited are you for your senior year?
I'm really excited. Just hoping to make the most of it and have a lot of fun.
And Coach, you got a senior here in Kylie May who's going to be providing leadership for you. Talk about some of the other girls who are going to be providing leadership for you, some of your upperclassmen.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be relying heavily on Kylie as our senior, and, she's done a lot. She's really progressed as a player and as a leader. So, we're all going to look to her, and then some of the kids helping her are Allie Miller and Allie Shermer. But we're just, we try to do that as a team. I don't think any one person can do it, but we're going to definitely rely heavily on Kylie.
Only senior. I just didn't realize that. You're the only senior this year. You feel, are you accepting that role as the senior and looking forward to it and making everybody listen to you?
Yeah, a lot of responsibility, but I'm excited for it.
We'll talk about some of you've seen these underclassmen coming in, so you obviously are a very young basketball team this year, but I'm sure that these kids are bringing in a skill set that's going to help you guys be a better basketball team. Talk a little bit about some of these underclassmen.
So we had like 4 freshmen come in and then some transfers. And so, we're young, but I think we have a good mix of some of the upperclassmen that do have some experience. So we will be relying a lot on some of the younger kids, and I think that they're ready for that responsibility, and I think they're going to do really well.
Coach Mishler, when you look at your roster, you have pretty good size this year on your basketball team. Was that something that you were emphasizing in the offseason?
We felt like we needed to add size as much at the guard positions as even up front. So, it was we felt like we got bigger at the kind of 3-4 spots. So, yeah, that was a focus.
I can understand you saying that about the guards, too. We've seen a lot of these teams around the conference and the teams that you play, grown people, big people. It's not just, guards who are, a little short. There's good-sized people. You see some girls playing guards in your league who other teams maybe playing the 4 spot sometimes. And Kylie, you're nodding. You have to guard a lot of those kids.
Yeah.
You know, and you're absolutely right. And I'm sure you agree. You had to get bigger at every position, including the guard spots. Do you agree with that, Kylie?
Yeah, definitely.
When you're looking at this year and you're getting ready, first game is this Saturday at Lake Erie, part of the Lake Erie Conference Challenge. Kids ready? You guys all ready, Kylie?
Yeah, we're definitely ready. I mean, we're excited to play, and hopefully we can get 2 wins this weekend. It's very capable.
How excited is the entire team, Coach, to get out there on the floor and face a couple of different opponents as you'll be playing at Lake Erie, and you'll also be playing Findlay up at Lake Erie as well?
Yeah, I think they're tired of practicing against each other and tired of hearing me in practice. So I'm sure they're fired up and ready to play against somebody different.
And you're bringing back basically the same coaching staff from last year as well, right? So continuity will be there for the kids as well.
Yeah, the continuity is there. We feel, that's one of the biggest things is just getting everybody on the same page. That's something that takes time, and we feel like we're closer than we have been in the past.
Well, you have some kids coming back who played a lot of minutes for you last year, and probably, when I look at the roster, probably one that sticks out the most is Allie Shermer. She did a lot of good things for your kids, but she's not the only person coming back from last year's roster this year. We'll be expecting big things from Coach. Talk about some of the other girls in your team that you're going to need to get big things from, or at least get good, solid contributions from for you to be successful. Yeah, well, obviously Kylie's one of them, and she's kind of figuring out what I'm looking for and her ways of contributing. Everyone contributes in different ways, and she's definitely figured that out. And I think Allie Miller, I think Madison. You can go down the list of them. We're expecting all these kids to come back and be much better players. Now, when you look at your team last year, when you sent them home, you probably said you guys need to be getting better at this, that, or the other. They come back the way you wanted them to come back when they came back and reported for you in the fall? We'll find out. I think so. I think that those things, there's a lot of things that come out when you play somebody different, a different opponent. So we'll learn a lot about ourselves this weekend and go from there. Where do you think your strengths are going to be this year? The strength of our team is our depth. I don't think we have anybody that's a better player than the other team has, but I do think that we have our 7th, 8th, 9th man is definitely better than theirs. And so we're hoping to build on that and just get everybody to improve. So. Kylie, you've been around the program for a few years now. Do you think there's more depth this year than what maybe there was in the past?
Yeah, definitely. And if we can just keep everyone healthy, then that'll be a really big thing for us this year also.
You talked about you embracing the leadership aspect of being a senior. Now you're looking maybe this year to maybe step up, maybe a little bit more of an offensive threat for the Dragons. You've always been able to score, but you're looking maybe up that average a little bit this year?
That would be nice, but my role will probably kind of be just like a ball mover and just kind of hustle plays and stuff like that. So obviously that will come with it, but so we'll see.
I'll take that. Kylie, Kylie's really figured out. She's an extremely smart player, and you play 95% of the time without the ball, and she's the one that keeps all of those plays going, keeps the motion offense going. So her numbers will not be indicative of how important she is to us offensively. So
she's a prototype floor leader for you. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, in her own way. Yep. Well, as we said, the season gets started this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at Lake Erie, and playing Findlay up at Lake Erie as well. And then next week, we'll have 3 of your guys' games. You got the game against Urbana, game against Salem, and the game against Indy. That's going to be a nice little stretch. I have a feeling you're going to know a lot about your team after the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we hope to.
And then you get ready for your conference play. Conference is always a bear, as always, but you get these big victories in your early season, going to that conference feeling good, and roll the dice and see what happens.
That's right.
Well, Coach, thank you guys so much for your time. Kylie, thank you guys as well. And thank everybody out here for joining us here for the Dragon Radio Winter Broadcast, Winter Sports Preview. But, continued success. Go get them this year, Coach, and
Thanks, Russ.
Have a great time. Thank you to everybody that was here tonight. Thanks to Athletic Director Lonnie Allen for putting the program on, and hope everybody has a great and successful winter sports campaign. Can't wait to be there with WTUD. If you'd like more information on our broadcast, all you got to do is go to tudragonradio.com, as well as get more information on Tiffin University Athletics by going to gotiffindragons.com or at tiffin.edu. I'm Russ Snyder. Thanks to Donovan Gregory and Matt Kilber for your help tonight. We'll catch you next time right here on your home of the Dragons. That's tudragonradio.com, WTUD.